Kerry O'Brien BEM is an award-winning drum and bass MC and founder of the Young Urban Arts Foundation, a charity with a mission to empower the lives of young people by strengthening mental well-being through creativity, culture and access to amazing opportunities. Her passion for supporting youth is driven by her own life experiences and, of course, her passion for music as well. Hello, Kerry.
Hello, hi Tanith. Thank you for having me.
Oh, great to see you. Let's get straight into it, Kerry. You were one of the first lady MCs in the UK, if I'm right. Where did your love of drum and bass come from?
Well, firstly, just to say, I was one of the first female MCs in jungle drum and bass. Oh, right. There were many females before me in the UK. But my passion for music, let me say. Yeah. My dad was he played the guitar, sung very badly, but definitely sort of brought me into a sort of creative space. So we used to write songs, and actually my first experience of music was actually being on a TV show called Top Banana.
Wow.
Back in the 90s. I think it was like 94 or something. And yeah, my class went on to this TV show and we had to write a rap. We were called the Rapping Witches, and we wrote a rap. Me and my dad wrote the rap for the class, and we won the competition for the song. So, I mean, if you want to take it back, that's really that's how far it goes back. But really, my passion for music came through raving, actually, like through the dance scene, through like raving and being in crowds of like-minded people. It really did something for my soul, and I felt where there was no judgment and it was just pure, unadulterated, like self-expression, and I'd never experienced that before, and in that sense, and I had a lot of baggage, like what I was going through as a child, and I just felt so good, like being in that environment. And the music was just like mind-blowingly amazing, and everyone was so lovely, and there was just so much love. So my passion for music really came through the dance scene, through the party scene, because that's where I really, really fell in love with music. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. I love that. And that there's something about music that really brings people together. I am going to see if I can dig out that Top Banana clip, because
I don't even know if it is available, but
I'll definitely be looking to see if I can find it, but that's awesome. So you touched on it there a little bit, Kerry, that life as a teenager wasn't actually that easy for you. Can you tell us a bit more about those early experiences that you had?
Yeah, of course. So, like millions of other children in the UK, we were quite poor. But we were mainly poor because my dad drank all the money we had. So any money we did have was drunk. So my dad was an alcoholic. He was a very troubled soul, very talented, very loving, but very troubled. So he was an alcoholic, and through the alcoholism, he was violent. So, experiencing and witnessing and being, I don't want to use the word victim of, but, being on the receiving end of violence, and being awake till 3-4 in the morning because there's police around, there's blood everywhere, and there's broken windows, and it really affects you, especially if you're going to school, because you're going to school tired, you're going to school with bruises, you're going to school again not wearing the best clothes, not looking, I felt like proper scum of the earth at sometimes. So I think that was a lot of my troubles, really, and I think that with that came a lot of emotional abuse from my dad. And I did a TED talk about this, so it was mentioned in my TED talk, but it was really about being emotionally beaten down and told that I'm not good enough and I'm never going to be good enough, and that I'm a piece of shit, and and that really affects young people, and it really affected me, just a snippet really, but it was hard. Gosh. It was hard. And even now, when I going through my healing process, and I always say, I feel like I'm healed, and then something else will come up and I go, oh no, I'm not. It's like, it's just ingrained, it ingrains in you. So I'm 42 now, and I'm still noticing those things popping up. you know, but as a child, as a young person, you know, it makes you angry. It makes you, you know, it makes you angry at the world. And I was angry at the world. I was, you know, but I was angry with a smile, you know. It's like, you know, I was angry at the world, and I was lost. And part of that journey of mine was, you know, I was trying to find a family, because I didn't believe the family I had was good enough, really, because it was just pain and trauma. And so, yeah, I ended up sort of, you know, just hanging around with different people, which weren't necessarily good for my path. Well, you know, it definitely taught me a lot, but it led me down some very dangerous roads. And and music was my savior.
Amazing. It's amazing how much as a young person you can actually bottle down and keep in, but it's got to come out at some point. So I guess that's why, you know, we go through that process and more comes up. So, you know, almost as a result of that, I guess you founded your amazing youth charity, Young Urban Arts Foundation. That was in 2019. 2009 rather. What was the motivation behind that? Was that to do with what you had experienced, or was there something else?
You know, Tanith, it wasn't something I thought about. It wasn't something like, oh, I've been through this and music saved me, so it was just something so organic. You know, when you do something and you just feel like you're on mission. I know you know that because that's your life. You know, but it's just something that organically happened. It was like I started doing workshops with young people, but there was definitely one moment, I think around 2008 or 9, where I went to a school. They were doing a talk about being a female artist in the music industry. And I went and did this talk, very first talk I ever did in a school. And I remember this, I think I've shared this story before, but there was this young girl who came up to me. She was dark haired, she was quite chubby, she was the same complexion as me. Like, it was just like, she looked like a mini me, honestly. And she came up to me and she just said that, you know, like, your story that you shared about your dad, you know, like, that's what I'm going through right now. Oh my God, I'm getting really emotional talking about this.
Oh, bless you.
You know, but she was like, she came up to me and she was just like telling me her story. And I was like, that's my story. And I just feel like it was some divine sort of intervention coming to me, you know. It was like the mini me telling me what I needed then and what young people need. So there was like these moments, significant moments. And then when I started doing workshops and seeing the difference it was making, I think that on reflection, it wasn't just about the kids, it was about me. It was about me healing me.
Yeah, amazing. I love that. And I love the story of the girl. It's interesting when you see so much of yourself in somebody. And I love, what I really love about that is that a lot of people see that, but they don't really do a lot with it. And what you've done is take action, and you've gone, actually, I'm going to make a difference here, which is what you're doing. And, you know, along with that, I know recently you've just invested in a new bus for Young Urban Arts Foundation to take into different estates and give access to these amazing young people that are amazing, but just don't have access. What are the next steps? What are the future plans?
Well, as you know, Tanith, we've had this bus for 9 years. It was a very old bus when we bought it 9 years ago. And it's been such an amazing resource. It's been our USP. We've managed to reach some young people that never would have had access. So I'm so grateful for that old bus. So rest in peace, the old bus. Just wanted to give some respect to the old bus before I start bringing in the new girlfriend.
Yeah, we love you, bus.
New boyfriend in. Bye. But yeah, so one of, you know, throughout the process of having that old bus, we realized all the things that wasn't there and what was needed. And one bit, not being sustainable. I mean, like, I couldn't sleep at night sometimes knowing how much we were damaging the environment with all the generator and you know, it's like, and I'm such a, you know, I'm all about sustainability. It was like so against my values. So for 4 years we've been fundraising for a new bus, or talking about it or looking at designs. But we've now, we got, thanks to the Arts Council, thanks to Cloth Workers, you know, they give us some capital grants to basically fund it, which is just like magic, you know. But we've now got a double-decker bus. It has double the capacity. It's solar powered.
Yay! Amazing.
So happy about. It's solar powered. It has access for 5 wheelchairs. We only had access for 1 before. So we really want to make sure that we're able to act like that organisations, I want to work with more organisations that work with young people that have mobility issues, so we can create space for them to be together, you know, all together on the bus. We've got like the latest software, the latest computers. I mean, it looks like a state-of-the-art studio. We've got 10 studios in there, more space, leather chairs, screens, and then we've got the top floor, which is basically an open access space. So we've got a big screen up there, we've got, you know, a Mac and everything. Oh, and we've got a vocal booth downstairs, which we didn't have on the other bus.
Incredible.
But the upstairs space really is about the young people. What do you want to do? You know, like, go and hang out, like, let it be a little mini youth space. We've also got like a little closed off one-to-one area for like meditation, or if young people just need a bit of time out, or if they need to have a one-to-one. It's all ambiently lit and got this lovely, you know, ambient music in there, and, you know, it's a bit of me there, you know. You know, but it works, you know, like having, you know, we know that music is calming, and it's about putting young people in a space. So we've got that. So we're going to leave the top space open and just ask young people what they want in there. So we've left a bit of budget for it, and then we're going to let young people design that. The young people have also had sign off on the actual design of the bus on the outside. They've had sign off on the design of the bus itself. So yes, we've got our launch days on the 1st and 2nd of September. Really, really excited. I'm really proud of myself, actually. My team are just, I can't speak more highly of them. But, you know, I had this emotional moment like a couple of weeks back, and it was just like, I'm emotional today anyway, so excuse me. You know, I was just like, wow, like how hard it was to get that single decker, and the fact we've got this other bus now. It's like, it's amazing. And, you know, I couldn't have done any of this without my team, and also without the funders, you know, believing in us and seeing the great work that we've been doing, and knowing that we need this for the young people. So
yeah. Oh, Kerry, your eyes are alight just talking about it, and I can't wait to come and see the bus, because it sounds absolutely incredible. I love all the different areas and stuff that you've got in there as well. And amazing that you've managed to do that. On top of that, as if that wasn't enough, because that's a lot of work, I know, and you're doing so much, you know, for young people with that. But you're also, I know, getting back into your music again. In terms of your music, what's in the pipeline? We're getting excited because we know you're doing more stuff, and also how can people access?
Yeah, oh, it's an interesting one, right? So I've been trying to reduce my hours at the charity for 4 years, well, actually probably longer than that. But as of next month, all goes well, officially I'll be going part-time. Brilliant. So I'll be a part-time chief exec. Obviously there's going to be some transitional time and see how that works, but the reason I'm doing that is so I can create time for my music, because as much as I've absolutely adored doing all this work for the charity, there's been like a very obvious pain within me, because I've not been able to fully express myself and follow my dreams, you know. So the plan is to plan in September. Quite honestly, I haven't got a plan, but the plan is the plan when I have the time, which will be, you know, coming up in the last quarter of this year. But one thing that is really significant for me is that I'm actually going to be rebranding. Like, Lady MC's been around for 26 years, you know, and you know, when she was born, there was no other female MCs. You know, Lady MC was very original, and she's very jungle, she's very old school, but, you know, that's not who I am anymore.
Right. So you put her on the bus then, are you, Kerry?
Going on the old bus. She can get on that bus. She can, you know, I'll still be doing gigs under Lady MC, but really what I'm looking at is a rebrand. And it's more about, because I've been getting into dance, I'm really loving dance, and also, you know, my whole vibe is more about the soulful music, the more musical drum and bass, and I feel like that's a different person. So welcoming my new artist name, which is Indigo Rain.
Oh, I love it. Beautiful.
Yeah, and you know, every time I say it to someone, they're like, oh my God, that really suits you. And you know, the story behind Indigo, you know, I had a coach of mine, you know, Dennis, he was like, right, you know, is this all about being spiritual? And, you know, it's like, what is this Indigo about? This is years ago, because I made the name up years ago. And I had to question it. And it was like, no, because Indigo, I'm Indian, you know, derives from India. And also there are many spectrums of indigo. Color, you know, obviously the color is the, you know, that very indigo color, but you can have indigo red, indigo blue, indigo green, you know. So it was about being able to access all the different realms of who I am through color. And the rain originally was like raindrops, but actually my stepdaughter, my goddaughter, she was like, no, it's not rain, it's REIGN, because she was like, no, she was like, that is who you are. She was like, you conquer everything you go for. And yeah, so she helped me with that. And yeah, it really so I'm feeling really good. Like when I speak about this new artist, it feels good, you know. When I look at myself on this Zoom call, I'm like, yeah, that is indigo rain right there, you know. It's like, so yeah, I've got my first radio interview next week, actually, as Indigo Rain. I don't know what I'm going to say yet, because I'm like, oh, where have you come from? Who am I? You know, so I'm figuring out everything, but I'm really excited about it. And, you know, my goals are to be on a lot of the massive festivals next year as Indigo Rain, the liquid, kind of more soulful festivals. And I do have a dream to be a professional dancer as well.
Well, I've seen your video, so I can see that you're really not far off that at all.
I don't know about professional, but
so, okay, welcoming in Indigo Rain. What is your philosophy in life, as a final question?
It really is about creative expression. It's all about creative expression. That's the only way that I can put it. It's like, you know, if you're about Indigo Rain, the artist, you know, like, that is who she is. It's about creative expression in all forms, and it's about being able, because like on a lot of the music that I've been working in previously, I didn't feel like I could openly speak about things I wanted to speak about. Yeah, you know, a lot of the other MCs and stuff, you know, in that genre I was in, it's all the stuff I've done, like, you know, it's like, I don't know, for me, it's just not very conscious, you know. So it's about being able to openly speak my truth and be a storyteller, start to tell my stories, you know, like everything I've been teaching these young people to do. It's like it's now my time to start storytelling and figuring out how I do that, you know. You know, but in terms of my you know, if you look at me as a whole being, you know, my philosophy in life is love as hard as you can, you know.
Beautiful. Oh, thank you so much, Kerry. That is a beautiful way to end the interview. Thank you so much for sharing everything. I'm really super excited to see what happens with Indigo Rain. I can't wait to see the bus. I'm definitely going to come up and do that and see what happens next with Young Urban Arts Foundation. But we'll share the charity. You know, I know that you're always looking for people that can support the charity as much as they can, but also for people to have a look at it, especially those young people who really want some support, find out what's going on, so that they can see if there's areas that they can get involved with. Thanks ever so much, Kerry, and we will see you soon.